What's up, guys? Welcome to the Deep in the Woods podcast, episode 2. We are off, second episode in. This is exciting. I'm here with Hax, Benny, our producer, and then our first guest, Aaron Nitz. This is, first ever, which is kind of cool. We'll see how it plays out, but so we'll just hop right into it. We just recently finished up week 1 at Spindler Park. League night. So we'll hop into discussing that.
It was cold.
It was very cold.
Didn't feel like spring yet, for sure.
Spring league is not feeling like spring.
Cold and windy.
Well, it did tail off towards the end, but yes, that was when it got colder. Yeah. So,
it's true.
A bit of a sufferfest, but it was a good time. Yep. Lots of good energy. So, so we'll hop into Hax. You want to give us a detail on your card storylines?
So first, I want you guys to watch this video.
Oh shoot!
All right, let's check it out.
We're gonna roll this video.
Roll it up.
That's in the water.
So I want to point out the excellency in the form. As you'll know, his body is kind of angled a little bit sideways.
Like solid deck.
Yeah, kind of trying to push the disc more lefter. I don't know what the word is, but to go more lefter toward the water.
Engaging those glutes, for sure.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Super
Those
hyzer.
glutes, they were nice.
They call it super hyzer.
Super hyzer with the glutes.
Which is ideal for that hole.
Right.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yep.
Good shot.
Yeah,
Nice
good work, dude.
Should we give him should we name drop him or?
I mean, he probably doesn't want to be name dropped after that.
I think the stature kind of name drops a little bit is what was happening there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, good work, Zach. Proud of you, buddy.
Oh, there it is. It was a good throw.
Mr. Pesto.
Get that wide stature.
Right.
Yeah,
Wide stature.
He's got those shoulders.
You know about the wide stature.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, so let me tell you guys a little bit about my round. I had the privilege of playing with a couple of gentlemen that I did not know, and then David Watkins.
Who you wish you didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely picked him to not show up, last week. He showed up a little bit today, but we'll see. So I played with Jared, and then David played with Trevor. And I will just point out the first couple holes, fairly average. And then Jared went off and birdied 2 holes by himself while I'm throwing off in the woods. And
who are you playing with?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Jared was my teammate. I was with Trevor and David.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you and Jared were together, and then
correct.
David
And Jared's. I mean, we rolled into. He parked the island hole. He parked the hole prior to that up along the fence. I'm throwing out of bounds twice. So.
Hawks is getting carried by his partner.
Absolutely. His back is sore. So, but at the same time, Trevor was doing the same for David. David was just off. But then David actually played, and I kind of played.
Yeah, he had a better back nine.
I was there.
Sometimes you watch David make some of those shots, and you feel like when I watch Jomez videos and the guys are like ripping on, the top 5 players, like, how does he do that? That's kind of how I feel.
It was interesting.
David's my doubles partner, and sometimes I see him do some pretty amazing things.
So I played, and we'll get to my card in a minute, but I was on my second hole and I was already defeated, and that's you'll learn about this in a second. Mm-hmm. But I watched David laser what's the back hole? I forget because it's a winter layout. Is that what is that?
Hole 8.
Hole 8. Yeah. So hole 8, perfect laser. I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. He's got a good.
He's got a cannon.
Yeah. So he threw 3 really good shots, and
his
everything
form's
else
identical. He doesn't waver, so it's just automatic.
Right. You would have seen he threw the big old hook over the bleachers and hit a tree and bounced underneath the basket. A couple of you guys saw it. It was one of his few good shots, but
you just have to have a couple
drop in doubles.
That's how you score.
Drop in 2s.
That's true.
Way to go, Dave.
For sure.
Benny, who'd you play with tonight?
Yeah, so I was with Jeremy. He was my partner. Actually, I don't know if we ever had a long conversation before tonight, but you were telling me a little bit about him, but he's got a cannon. But he and I kind of struggled with the same thing. We kept turning over our disc, even our overstable disc. We like my Zeus tonight. I felt like I could totally throw a hyzer all day, every day with it, and I'm throwing, and it was carrying. But
Was
his back is definitely sore.
was that the Zeus you left on hole 7?
Do we have to talk about that?
I was just curious. I just saw Zeus.
was like-
and it
that was
had
like
Benny
6
on it.
holes.
You ever
Yeah.
wondered why Benny buys so many discs?
I
He just
leave
leaves them everywhere.
No, I actually think it fell out of my cart because I don't remember.
That's how
using
you leave a disc.
Well,
that's fair.
it was too close to the hole, so.
Yeah, it couldn't have been mine. But our round started with a double bogey.
Oh,
So
how'd you finish?
Yeah.
we finished +1. So obviously we made up a
Played
little
the
bit.
other
I was just
17
curious
holes at
because-
under par.
It was a very colorful card, that's for sure.
Who do you guys play with?
We played with Sean, and I don't even want to talk about him because he very much upset me because he played really, really, really well.
That man.
Yeah, Sean and Eli. Eli, super consistent dude. Like just perfectly down the middle shots. He's a fairway player all day. But Sean went for a lot of just like I don't understand his whole flex shots.
We
It
don't
doesn't
give Sean enough credit. He's
I don't want to, but he deserves it.
Yeah.
And I just we got to point it out because my heart broke for him tonight.
You
Tell
guys
us about it.
cried
I've never
out?
seen it before.
So
I heard about it.
he threw it. What hole is this? I never remember what hole. Hole 7. Is that what it is? Hole 7. Yeah. Hole 7. He does like a beautiful flick, and I'm literally going, "Oh man!" I said, "I hate you," and I was like, "That's so beautiful." And I was like, "Go in, go in!" And it goes in the basket, and it go literally all the way in. You hear chains, basket. It goes in the basket all the way around, and then falls out. He went, "Ah,"
Is this off the
Toilet
tee?
and then fell to the ground. Like it.
What hole?
It was the closest ace I've ever seen without being an ace.
Does Sean have a career ace?
I have no idea.
He watched my ace.
He'll tell
That
you.
doesn't,
He'll
well, it
tell
doesn't
you
count
he
for him.
does.
So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of aces. But
right.
oh man, that sucks. That was a great throw though.
Yeah, it was a really good card though. Like we had a good time. I was struggling off the tee all day, but
A little rusty. Let's shake it
yeah,
off.
it's good to hang out with a couple guys I don't normally hang out with. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Aaron, who was your partner?
Tonight I played with Tyler. It's Tyler's first week there tonight, and Tyler's a great player. Throws primary flicks, but he also threw some backhand shots. He's a fairway golfer. He hits his line every time. You guys sometimes make fun of me for how soft my putts are. You know, like sometimes my putts look like they're barely crawling in the basket. Tyler's crawled in the basket. Literally, they had 2 putts tonight that the front of the rim and like, you know, went over the lip of the rim. He had one that like bounced off the front rim and went in. But
Sure.
I always say if it finishes in the basket, it finishes in the basket. So he made a couple key putts for me tonight. So that was really good. And then rounding out my card was Bernie. And I've actually known Bernie for, I think we figured out 20 years or more. Pretty sure I remember a trip to the, 2007 Crack Plastic Classic.
would've
Driving
been
out to
11.
Kalamazoo together. Yeah. Nate, were you even born? He might have been like 2
was
years old,
alive.
man. So it was great. Always great playing with Bernie. Love catching up with him. He self-admitted tonight, he's like, I just lost a little bit of my mojo. So he was like up and down, but he had a couple great flex shots tonight. He took the CTP from Benny, just changed one letter to put that R in there.
And
Benny
you
to
were-
Bernie.
you were close, too.
I was
I
3
don't,
feet.
Benny, I don't know why, but this is actually a thing. Our league loves stealing CTPs and longest putts from you. It's a thing. Like everybody knows, I took it from Benny. That feels so
Why?
good.
What?
There's a club.
I don't
There's
know
a
what it
club
is.
of-
I mean,
It is
it's like my one good shot in a round. That's
something about it. It's just satisfying to
it'd
know
be
that
different
he
if like
beat
I threw a
you.
lot of good shots.
Bernie doesn't even know you that well, and he tonight was like, "Yes, it was Benny's," and I took it. I was laughing.
But that's
It was pretty good.
because of the original. Like when we first met him, we pranked him. That's why.
Oh, when you guys changed the name on the card.
Well, and remember we said something about not liking Sean or something like that.
I do remember that now. But yeah, he was happy to take it. It was a great shot. It was whole, well, it would do 24. Tonight it was 18.
Yeah.
Flex shot. Took the backdoor route.
And it was from
parked
the long.
And it was from the longs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that hole is pretty easy to throw from the front, but he got it from the long. So that was
tough.
good. So I always enjoy playing with Bernie. A little shout out to Bernie tonight too. He got like the ambassador award. Let's give him the ambassador award. He invited 3 first-time players tonight.
That's awesome.
One of which was Tyler, my partner, and then the other one was Sean, his partner. Sean has a great snap off the tee. He was throwing, him and Bernie played pretty balanced as far as score tonight. Sean was, he could throw some bombs. So it was good to see. Yeah.
Good work, Bernie. Way to bring some new guys, dude.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely true.
All right, so I'll go into who I played with. I played with Sam Cobb. I know he came to week 0.
I had the
So
privilege of
I know
playing
a
with
lot of
Sam.
people- There you go.
Yeah.
So I think his strongest suit was his flick approach shots. And so that's where he's immense valuable to me. But we kind of started off slow. So we had 3 bogeys in a row. And then I was proudly clawed back to neg 1. So
That's
amazing.
good work. That's
Yeah.
good work.
And so we towards the end, we kind of turned it on, which was good to see. We also played with Dylan and then Tom. And so those guys were just a blast to play with, honestly. So Dylan kind of had the lefty routes, which is always fun to watch. Let's see. Anything? Our card meshed well. I don't think there was anything crazy that happened, but their card played really well except for one hole, which kind of bit them in the butt, whatnot. So other than that, they played pretty good. So
You guys were in front of us. Got to see
Dylan played
Yeah.
okay, even like with the whole ball and chain thing. He was okay.
yeah, I mean, I've been talking him through it.
Okay,
So I
okay.
think he's
Working it out.
He's
He
overcoming
is. Okay, that's
that
good.
obstacle.
That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I know
For
I-
those
good
of
for
you,
him.
this is your first week watching. We had a reference last week at
I
our
caught some heat.
preseason
I caught some heat. That's okay.
that because Dylan's getting ready to get married, and so
To my daughter,
Yeah,
ball,
so-
the old ball and chain, So
just making sure Dylan's doing all right.
Yeah. I think he's gonna make it, guys.
check in on your friends, guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to point out real quick the top 3, Aaron over here and Tyler, took it down with a 7 under.
Good work.
And then David and Trevor, who I got to play with, they shot 6 under. And then Elijah and Sean shot 5 under. And then there's a bunch of other scores. But those are the top 3 for this week.
We don't need to talk about the other
Yeah.
scores.
Did it feel like you guys left down a lot on the table, or was it?
We made putts. So I would say I think we only missed 1 putt inside the circle. So when my drive was on, we were there and making birdie. We were scoring. So it was fun.
We got to score in doubles, man.
Yep.
The score
bogeys.
in those conditions is impressive too. Like it's those
Well, that's
windy.
what I said. We weren't making 50 footers. I didn't make
Right,
a
you
putt
guys would
longer
have been
than
19
25
down in a
today.
normal day.
Oh, easy.
Easy.
Maybe 20. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have happened.
Through 18 holes.
Tyler was good, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm going to go into a new segment, which who do we think overperformed or like did really well above their standard, and who do we think maybe didn't play as well this week as a group who we thought we would have? You guys have any in mind?
I mean, maybe it's selfish, but I had a lot of higher expectations going into this week. Just struggled off the tee the entire round, and especially coming off of last week.
Yeah.
I was pretty stoked.
What happened last week?
I mean, I had a decent round.
Like a bunch of good shots or one good one or
Like last week.
yeah.
Am I really going to be the one to say this? I felt a little selfish.
You got to
I
do
don't
it.
know what happened.
Man, I had
Benny, tell us about your ace.
So, here we go. So, hole 8, Bryce, which when you say Bryce, you're like, oh, this is where Matt Shimotaro comes and hits an ace every 6 months. But you guys remember on the preseason episode, I haven't had an ace in a very long time.
Didn't you say since you were a teenager?
Since I was 16. Wow. So, 15
Life
years.
of a disc golfer.
15 years. All it took was a preseason episode of a podcast.
The prophetic word.
Prophetic word to amp me up, and I hit a 230-foot ace, hole 8 at Bryce, and
beautiful.
shot 13 down to take the night.
Wow.
It's a great week.
And then a little bit of a smaller, really big shout out to Garrett Landry for hitting his first ace, which
I
he's
was
a
so
newcomer
hyped.
on the scene.
So let me just say, I'm so happy for him. But
I'd never say it to his face,
it
but
took me 15 years.
Absolutely not.
It took me
Absolutely not.
15 years, and it took him 2.5 weeks. I mean, not really. I think he's been playing for a few months.
there was a little bit of jealousy in the air, but I think we're all
But Aaron was on my
collectively
card
happy.
and was stoked for me. But when Garrett hit an ace,
I think everyone was more excited.
100 yards away, he went absolutely nuts.
I ran the boy down.
yeah.
But
There was like a dog pile, wasn't there?
yeah.
There should have been.
shout out to
There should've
Garrett.
been.
Great ace.
attaboy.
The cool thing is many people play for years and years and years
Yeah.
before they hit one, and he's like less than 6 months in, and he's smashing.
And
an
last
ace.
season, we only had 2 for the whole season, right?
We've had 2 aces in 2.5 years
And so to have 2 in one night, it's crazy.
in week 0, the week before the season starts.
That was a good way to start the
maybe
season.
it's the way things are about to go.
right.
Yeah. The sport's growing. It's
Yeah.
It is. Aces are growing.
But to kind of get back to this week, I kind of was expecting to come off of an exciting week and play well, and I didn't. But and I think didn't really know what to expect because half the people there this week I didn't really know.
Right. What can you assume from?
Right.
I can tell you who I thought from the people that I played with.
Right.
And I'll tell you, Sean. He steps up. Sean and Wade stepped up, and
I thought Wade and Greg.
Well, yeah,
stood out the most to me.
There's team. Yeah.
I mean, Sean plays really good golf, so it's not like, you put anyone with him, he's going to produce some birdies, and then he's not going to take a ton
I'll say
of
who
bogeys.
kind of let me down outside of myself. Like I just assumed they'd play better. I said his name a lot last episode.
Oh,
Steven.
yeah.
And I
he
talked
had
to
a lot
him.
of weight on his shoulders, so
Well, I talked to him at the end, and I'm like, "How'd it go?" He's like, "That's all he went." It's like, "Not good, not good."
I underperformed, but
I think Wade did great tonight. Greg's a great fairway golfer, and he's a pretty safe putter, which if any of you ever played with Wade can use a partner who's a safe putter. He is learning how to dial in his
okay.
lasers from 30 feet. But when he has a partner, he can just go all out on every putt.
Right.
Right.
I didn't think
And
about
he's
that.
an accurate putter too. So it's not like he misses a lot, but if he misses, he might have a 40-footer coming back. So Greg was probably a great partner for him tonight, but Wade was on. I watched him throw just a couple drives,
awesome.
and the kid can play.
What happened,
And I call him a kid. He's a
He's young.
student
Yeah,
at
like
Lawrence Tech
college.
University. I want to
cool.
give him a shout out. I think he's probably like 20, 21 years old.
That's awesome.
He's designing the course at Lawrence Tech.
What?
I've played the Lawrence Tech course and it's only And he said, I want something better.
That's
so he's
amazing.
dealing with the university. He's working on it. So
Sounds like
kudos
a
to you.
future
Yep.
league night
Let's
course.
go, Wade.
Going to have to
Yep.
be a stop down there.
Love it.
Yep.
Hey, what happened to Nick and Garrett tonight? Like that was a rough night. I'm assuming.
Nick doesn't play golf in the snow. He's
That's
too
true.
cold.
Nick
And there
is
was a little
going to
bit
have
of
to
snow
shake
there.
off a little rust.
Nick came off hibernation. You got to give him a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
It's-
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you
his
wake
rust
the bear
off,
up,
but-
it's gonna, it's gonna
It's
be a
going
little
to take him a
grumpy.
minute.
He's
to-
hungry. He's
That's true.
foraging
He
for
hasn't
food.
eaten much.
He hasn't eaten much.
He's also left-handed.
Which sometimes we
wanna
call
hold
that
him
a
against
cheater,
him.
but sometimes it can come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have lines to throw.
Don't bring that up because he doesn't like that.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, I will just say both lefty guys on the course tonight did not play great. So it could be a left-hand thing. I mean, I'm giving you an out, Nick. Honestly.
Yeah, that's nice.
That was courteous of you.
Yeah.
Generous.
Very
Sweet.
good. Cool. Yeah, I think we covered that portion of it, and we'll hop right into the interview process, whatnot. And so, I think this will become the theme with our guest. We'll ask our guests certain interview questions. We have Aaron, kind of the godfather of the group,
The OG.
the OG. So I was hoping, give us a really detailed synopsis of. I'm using big words. It's kind of cool.
First time for everything.
Nate's
Yeah.
got one of those calendars that teaches you a word every day.
So we kind of go over the history of the group, history of the league, history of how you got into disc golf, all of it, And so, yeah, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, like a lot of guys back in the 80s and 90s playing disc golf, a lot of us thought we invented disc golf. My buddies and I, at college, looking for free stuff to do, we just started chucking our Frisbees at light poles and, trash cans, modern art sculpture, stuff like that. So we just started playing Frisbee golf. It's probably like mid-90s. And one of us threw one of ours up on a roof of one of the campus buildings at Western Michigan. And we each had one Frisbee. So if you lose your Frisbee, you're done. So we would always commit to like wherever it was in that tree, whatever roof it was on, you're getting up on that roof. And so we figured out there was a computer lab. You could walk through the computer lab. Unfortunately, there was a guy teaching in the computer lab. And so I walked right in front of him while he was teaching. And hey, man, what's up? Walked out the window, crawled out the window, found my Frisbee, a Nerf football, another Frisbee, and a DX Raven, which I had to look up in order to tell the story. Out of production for like 20 years now. It was a 6-speed, which at the time was about the fastest disc on the market. So I walked past, I got an armload of Frisbees and footballs. The professor's looking at me. He's looking at the window. He's looking at me like, dude, what are you doing in my class? So I come out of there, see this DX Raven. Long story short, I learned how to throw that, fall in love with disc golf, find out there's a course just off campus, Coldbrook Park. Hoxie, one of your favorites, right?
A lot of trees.
The course is full of first available and second available trees. So that's where I learned to play. Came back here when we got married and moved back to the Detroit area. Hooked up with a Royal Oak Thursday night league. Found other guys who knew how to play. Just fell in love with the game.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How old was that disc?
That disc was, well, I found it in 1994 or 95.
You realize
So-
there's a number of
People in our league.
who are
I mean,
not
I
around.
was 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that were not alive back that time. So, yes, I'm 48 years old, so I'm 2 years away from MP50.
Nate, how old are you?
I was thought of. I was a thought.
A glimmer in Team East's eyes.
Carry on.
So,
Talked about at least.
all
I
good,
think,
all
at
good.
point.
That was a ways back. I'll give you that. But just fell in love with the game. Had a lot of acquaintances that played disc golf. So I would go do things with my friends for fun, and then I would go play disc golf with strangers. So it's kind of weird, but I love the game enough to where it didn't bother me. There were guys I met that I would say, like I enjoyed being around them, knew their name, but like not close friends. Fast forward, almost like 10 whole years. A couple of my friends started playing. And then just over the last couple of years, a couple of the other guys in the league kind of said, let's organize this. But in that 10-year period is probably when I started to get really good. My peak was rating 980. That was right around the same time that I competed in the PDGA Worlds. It came to Kalamazoo. You guys know that it city hops every year. So that was a nice Michigan site.
Let me ask you one more question.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt and apologize. So right now, these days, the highest rating is 1050-ish.
1054, I think.
1054. So back then, 2008.
I would
Rough
say
estimate.
that year when I went to Worlds, Feldberg won it, and he was probably 1028, 1030, which I know doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's 2 strokes every round, which means that over the course of Worlds, play 10 rounds, wins by 20 strokes.
Which means 5 strokes better than your rating then.
right,
which is-
right.
Not a lot for what it's worth. Like you were in contention.
I was there. At that point in 2008, I was ranked number 20 in Michigan, which probably put me in the top 500 in the world. Yeah. Back then, 980 would not do that now. The game's just so much better.
Pretty sure the FPO.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, at that time too, I remember even thinking like the best woman in the world was rated about 930 at the time. So that's kind of crazy to think of how far the game's come, the men's game and the women's game.
Sure.
So played Worlds, had a so-so week, threw an ace. That was really fun to, just kind of put on the brag tag that threw an ace in Worlds. And so that was a lot of fun. Got too busy coaching, raising my kids and stuff like that. My rating has dipped down in the, 940, 950 range for the last probably 10 years or so. Trying to, as I get old, not lose a lot of distance. Become a little more of a smart man golf.
Sure.
I still like to throw the Simon lines from time to time, but I'm kind of losing a little bit of that power. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a long ride playing disc golf. My PDGA membership package this year just came with a cool little tag. I should have brought it. It's a 20-year member tag. So
gonna ask
I
if you
became a
got it.
member in 2003.
And then what's your number?
22315. So if you didn't count, that's 5 digits.
I
There's
think you and Tony.
Tony Lewis,
In
who
our
I taught
league.
to play when he was
And Bernie.
Yep. There's 3 of us in the whole league that are under 100,000, and I'm at 22,000. So
Mine's 157,216.
Yep.
You have me by 125,000.
my son Zeke's is 207,809. It's 10 times as big as mine. Yep. So yeah, it's been a long road. A lot of fun playing disc golf. I would not exaggerate to say I love it more now than I did when I was playing Worlds, when I first started. It's a great game.
And then touch on kind of the history of the league. I know it's a shortish one, but
Yeah. Yep. So we just tonight, week 1 was the kickoff for week 4 or year 4. Sorry. 4th year of the league. Just actually told the story to somebody else a couple days ago. These 2 guys right here, Alan and Nate, were sitting at somebody's wedding. That time when you're sitting around waiting for the bride and groom to come out. And they said, hey, there's more and more guys playing disc golf now. We should get something organized. They sketched a few notes down into a little cocktail napkin or something and gave me a call and said, hey,
we knew we need you to get involved.
yeah.
So.
And so they said, I would love inviting people to do stuff. And so they said, Aaron knows disc golf. Aaron likes inviting people. Let's get this rolling. And we started averaging like 15 to 20 guys a week, like from the get-go. And there were a lot of guys who showed up who didn't even own Frisbees. We were handing them Frisbees saying, hey, throw this thing. And it's just kind of grown from there. Last year, we started adding more guys with the purposeful invite. And that's been a big thing for us, saying, your neighbor, your cousin, the guy from work, invite somebody in to play disc golf. And more often than not, people fall in love with it. And it's so fun to watch something that I've been passionate about for 25 years, watching somebody like, dude, did you see that Frisbee fly? That was cool.
I touched the basket with the disc.
Right. I was only 30 feet away, but it was so cool.
All you need is one shot.
Oh, that's it, man.
Yeah, it'll
Yep.
give. I just to tag along, what I thought was really cool tonight at League, I feel like it was a culmination of like years and years of you playing disc golf and you inviting people and being the only one. You weren't with your friends. You pointed that out, like it was with strangers. And tonight it was really cool because you were with your friends and the strangers tonight. It was half and half, I feel like.
I won't lie. It was a little bit of nostalgia. There was a little bit of like, I've dreamed of this. I've dreamed of, I enjoy like being hospitable and inviting people to do stuff.
Right.
I enjoy hanging out with my bros. And I really enjoy disc golf. And so it was really fun to see kind of all that come together. Earlier today, I came to the realization of like, I think a lot of people are going to show up. And we're only playing 18 holes, which at Spindler means 9 baskets.
Right.
We can only fit 36 people. And you guys know how many people we got, right?
It was 36.
On the dot. So those of you watching this, if you're coming back for week 2, you might be in a sixsome next week if we get some more people. But it's a good problem to have, right?
Right.
You had guys like these guys have been playing for a long time.
Yep.
And then you had a guy walk up and say, I don't have any discs. That was a cool moment. Like just watching that, I was like, dude, more people are coming to play. They've never even played.
It's a great game.
Pretty cool.
And you know what? Our league is full of great people.
Yeah.
Great game, great people. People are going to start showing up.
Yep. 100%.
That's our tagline, actually. Great game, great people.
There it is. It's coined.
Deep
Sunstein Law will patent that. Sunstein Law, I think, is on the Pro Tour all the time. So I know you made that top 10 list, and I was hoping you could elaborate on that a little more.
Yeah.
And I know touch on
So let me pull up. I want to make sure and get back into this. Where did we put that at?
league, and then
It was in the
scroll up.
league one. There we go. Well, I think that there's a couple people on there that I think everybody throws at the top. I think David and myself are usually kind of consensus number 1, number 2.
That's very selfish.
I noticed absolutely selfish. I noticed a few people put David number 1, and I was the first one to admit we play a sanctioned tournament. David's going to beat me by a stroke or 2. He usually does. But casual rounds, which I would say league is more of a casual round, I usually beat David by 1 or 2. And tonight, now we had partners. So obviously my partner played good tonight. Sure. So that changes thing. But my team ended up beating him by 1. So I think the 2 of us are right there. And then I think both Ian and Hoxie. Sure. Alan, I think you're right there. Ian is coming on. Ian stole that win of the last week of league with an amazing performance at the end of last year. And I think he's right there. And then it's really hard. Nate, you said, give me your top 10. I mean, there are so many people that are in that conversation. You've got Coop, who is probably one of the streakiest players in our league. Yeah. I think I'm going to beat Coop 8 out of 10 times I play him, but the 2 times he beats me, he's going to beat me by 6.
As long as it's warm.
That's true. Tonight was way too cold. Yeah. He made up some lie about having something to do tonight. It was just the cold weather. I think Nate has admitted to cooling off a little bit lately, but he is definitely still in that top 10 conversation. Stephen Demick, Tony. I know that he said he was off a little bit tonight, but he's there. I think Tony's right on that bubble of that top 5 as well.
He just doesn't play.
He doesn't play enough. Well, and I think now that it's warm, he's going to start coming out a little bit more.
I sold him last week.
That's true.
He can't be top 10 anymore.
Tony was sold by you guys up and down the river. Everybody said, no, you didn't?
I got rid of Dave.
I thought the other guys were.
Much better.
But Tony's right there. I've had the pleasure of playing only a couple rounds with Wade. I think Wade also is one of those young players. He's going to get good fast. And so he might not be in that top 6, 7, 8, but he rounds out that 10. I think that Nicholas and Christian both are there. They're right on that bubble. I know you guys joked about the whole, like, I don't know which one of the twins it is. And I think it's going to be one of those things where one of the 2 of them is going to show up and play hot. And I've seen both of them. I think Nicholas, wins more often, but I played around with them last weekend. Christian just tore it up. So I think they're both there. It's really fun to see all these new guys.
I think Cian has potential to really push
Sean is there, man. Watching Sean flick it's a pretty thing. And he's kind of like me, that he can make overstable discs, do some crazy cool things. And so it's fun to watch him make those shots. John Vestal, that thumber, he's kind of close to that bubble.
Yeah, anything under 400 thumbers, you're going.
Yeah.
If we're going distance, Dylan's raw.
Dylan has the capability of, he's not top 10 yet, but he told me tonight on the drive home, he's like, I want to be A within 2 months. And I said, dude, you're going to be there.
Yeah.
For sure. Jeremy, who played with Jeremy tonight?
Me.
You did, yeah.
I think he's very much a bubble player.
And I think he's been a casual disc golfer. And it's funny, even though our league is a beginner league and it's kind of just a for fun league, we're men and we're competitive.
Yeah.
And every week I pull out there, I want to beat people. I want to play my best. And I think Jeremy's going to drop into league, and I think that's going to motivate him to keep pushing forward.
He signed up for his first tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's pumped about that. I think, it's a little bit of nepotism, but I think my son, Zeke, you guys made the cracks last week about him, throwing some 500-foot bomb and then shrugging his shoulders and walking back like it's nothing, which, ticks everybody off.
With everything in my body, I can't hit 500.
He doesn't play enough to putt well, but if that kid plays 2 or 3 rounds a week with me, by the third round, his putt's on.
His ceiling and floor is really wide.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
he has the potential
if
to
he
be the
could
best
bring
guy in
that
our league.
floor up,
He just tried out and made the Tower baseball team. He's never played for the school before. He played just summer casual ball, but he tried out for the baseball team. I'm hoping it doesn't kill his disc golf career for the next 2 months. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's kind of my top 10. Like I said, there's kind of a pretty distinct line, I feel like, after the top 4 guys, but then there's like 10 to 15 other guys that fill those next 6 spots. Yep. So it's been fun to watch everybody get good.
And then, Aaron, so we're going to hop into who you buying, who you selling, who do you think is going to regress, who do you think is going to take their game to the next level? I know you alluded to some guys, but
yeah. So I might loop back to some of those guys in the top 10 that I'd be buying. I talked about Ryzen. I'm going to buy some stock in Jeremy. I want to see him as he competes in league, step it up. Wade, as a still somewhat newer player, the skills, he's already a well-rounded player.
Yeah, and he's actively working on getting better.
He told me, he's like, I love playing rounds with you because I want to watch you putt. And it's not even that my form's so good, but like I know when to run it. And that comes from experience, right? Yeah. 25 years and when to float that baby in there. And so he's learning. So I think he's definitely in the buy. Dylan is definitely in the buy phase. He's got that lefty hyzer bomb. That's going to bring a lot of holes into play. Cheater. That for a lot of us, cheater, right? I mean, those of us righties, that's a cheater route. So Dylan is definitely somebody that I'm buying on. Man, the selling on, I saw you guys. It's so
tough,
funny.
Man.
You guys last week, you all looked at each other like, we're about to sell out one of our friends right now.
It's kind of fun.
Just pick Tony.
It is kind of funny.
Yeah,
a safe
pick
bet
Tony.
is Tony because everybody likes to pick on the ginger,
Oh God!
So Tony actually uses the joke. He says sometimes about getting beaten like a redheaded stepchild. Tony says that sometimes. But I've played with Tony before. Tony is the first one of my friends to ever beat me. And I ate some humble pie the day he beat me, and he got really good. Tony's got 4 young kids. And so he is often he's going to their sports events and stuff like that. But I think that once the league picks up, I think it's just a really fun thing for him. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to be selling him, but I'm going to sell him for the first 5 weeks. Ooh. I'll be looking to buy some Tony stock in the second 5 weeks of season. And maybe, his name's on the trophy. There's only 4 names on the trophy, and his was the first one. So you better be careful selling Tony stock.
Don't want to hold it too long.
Right. Yeah, you got to buy low.
Right.
And
you got to be more of a trader.
You got to sell high. Yep. You got to be not just a buyer and a seller, but a trader. Absolutely.
You selling anyone else?
Selling anybody else. Honestly, I think that there's just a couple guys who are in winter rust mode.
Yep.
We joke about, Cooper and Nick not wanting to play when it's cold, but there are some guys who played almost none this winter, and you give them till June or July.
If you gave me the league as a whole, I'd buy an entire league. Just because of our progression. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
So as you play, you get better.
Right.
In 3 years, I've seen so many people say, I've gotten so much better but I'm still B because everybody else got better, which is awesome. You know, like, I mean, it's fun to pass people in the rankings, but it's fun to be around a group of people that are all rising up.
Right.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
100%.
It's good, man.
Cool. Now we'll go into next week. And so we're going to Veterans Park. That's kind of the destination. Things to, I know you got some adjustments to the course. Anything to look forward to?
Yep. Just wanted to give a shout out. Nate kind of took on the UDisc course ambassador, which means he can keep up on the UDisc website. And which finally got it changed. It said it was an object course for the longest time. So I appreciate that, Nate. I got some work to do because I don't know if all of you heard.
You get 9 more.
No, the course record was held by me for the last 6 months shooting. I've shot a pair of 12s and certain Ian Kumpela came out and shot 13 down. So
apparently.
Ian,
So
apparently.
none of us were there.
There was somebody on the card, but I don't know if I trust either of them. But if it did happen, Ian, gauntlet's thrown down. 14 is in the works. So this week at League, though, you will not have a chance to break the course record because we're going to be playing a back 9 safari layout. So we're going to play the front 9 as normal, which everybody always jokes is like 7 hyzers, right? 7 hyzers and 2 straight shots.
Sure.
But the back 9 is going to be a little tougher. Some of them are going to be longer. Some of them are just going to be a different angle. So I think there's going to be some cool shots out there. We're going to try to keep the tees on sidewalks and other cement areas because it's still a little muddy out there.
Right.
There's maybe an extra shot going to be thrown in back in the south corner of the park. So a lot of people look at Veterans and kind of see, little city park, nothing. But, you know, I think that we undersold Veterans when it first went in. When they finally actually laser measured the holes, there were 3 holes over 300 feet. One of them was 354. The other 2 were over 300. It's not a little baby course. You're not throwing putter off the tee.
Yeah. I think also we're probably going to be going sixums.
Yeah. Yep. It's another 9-hole course, which means that if we have over 36 players, we're going to be looking at sixums. And that seems to be almost a foregone conclusion that next week we'll grow over 36.
Which is fine.
If people play fast.
Yep. And that's a quick playing course.
Yeah,
Spindler has a couple walks.
Sure.
Whereas
Should
Veterans,
be a lot of tap-ins.
Yep. Should see some hot scores. On that note, Veterans, give me 2 score predictions. Give me a front 9 doubles prediction, and then give me an overall. I know the overall one's going to be hard because you guys don't even know where the tees are. Yeah. But I would tell you this. I think that the back 9 is going to play in doubles 2 to 3 strokes tougher than the front. So what do you think somebody's going to shoot on the front?
I still think someone could get 14.
Yeah, I'm saying 14 or 15.
Now, even with the more difficult, so you think somebody's going to go like 8 and 6?
It could be. Yeah, it could be 2 sevens.
I think it's big birdie or die. But I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I'm going to say if we always have, every league night, we have 2 high Bs that get paired up together.
Yep.
Sure.
I think those 2 high Bs are going to take it down.
Sure.
They're going to have 2 quality tee shots is all you need. And you're going to get 2 quality putts.
So Hawks, you said 14. Benny, what do you think?
I think 14.
Nate?
I think 15. I think guys are going to really push because it's going to be a birdie or die.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, for sure. But I don't know. I don't know the new safari layout.
Who knows what we're going to do?
I think that if we played the regular course, it's just 2 loops on the base 9, I think that 14 is probably a good prediction. But I think the layout, if like I told you, 2 to 3 strokes harder, I think it's going to be 11 or 12.
All right.
I'm gonna because you guys just mentioned that, I'm gonna personally take it upon myself when I drop those flags.
Oh, you can't do that though.
I'm not to prove you wrong, but they'll be a little bit more difficult. Okay. So.
Respect.
I'm excited to see it, though.
You're going to do flags, though?
Yep. We're going to try to drop flags on the sidewalk, maybe even bring some chalk or something like that.
Make it easy.
We'll make it obvious to know where you're supposed to be teeing from.
Cool. That's good. Yeah, chalk would be nice to write out the number, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That'd be nice. Cool. And then I know, we're it's hard to touch on it now, but merch should be arriving.
Yep.
Next couple weeks.
By the time you watch this podcast, the merch store will be closed. We were excited to get some of our disc golf merch out there. Some of the Woods Disc Golf League. Nate designed a sweet logo. I got a guy who does shirts, And we got some hoodies, polos, t-shirts. So pretty soon you're going to see that stuff out on the course. Probably by about the time you guys watch this, we're looking at early to mid-April for arrival of that stuff. So I'm hyped to get some stuff out there.
Yeah, it'll be sweet to see our swag out there
Yeah,
playing the courses.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's cool. And then Hawks, we're going to turn it over to you for the next.
So
tournament.
we talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago. First episode, Zambia tournament, April 1st at Spindler, where we just played. It's Phil. I'm not going to say it's. Oh yeah, we got
filling up fast.
We got about 25.
Yep.
25 people signed up.
Some new people we don't recognize, which is, obviously it's going to happen.
Right. I've been in contact with actually a couple different individuals who I've never met before, and just, hey, question this, and
I know Sam's bringing his. He's debating, but he's going to bring his kid out there, so which is cool.
absolutely got some young kids. It's so April 1st. It's our first adventure into running a tournament, and it's going to be awesome.
Flex start, T-timed.
Yep.
Get to pick your own partners, essentially, who you play with.
Yeah, if you never played a flex start, it's a great first tournament.
Yeah.
So whether people in our league are watching this or anybody's watching this, like you said, you play one round of 24 holes. You could play with the other people you sign up with, even if they're not in your division. It's a great cause too.
Right.
$10 of your money is going to support the other course they're putting into Zambia, plus the people that are working out there in that country in Africa. So really cool cause to be supporting, and just going to be a really cool event.
Yeah. Cool. So come on out. The course will be a little bit harder, as we're going to mark all the different OBs, and if you haven't played Spindler, there's a lot of OB all over. So we're going to play it, and it's going to be tough. So
Hoxie, I've never played a tournament before. How do I sign up for this tournament?
Disc Golf Scene, www.discgolfscene.com. Look up.
Create a profile.
Yep.
Got
First,
to
and
create a
then
profile.
Go to tournaments, and then if you put your specific location in, it should pop up to the top, and it'll say Zambia, which is a pretty recognizable name.
Yeah, can't miss it.
Click
Sign
on
up
it.
there.
Has a bunch of details in there. Read it all.
And so we'll be
Register.
making it all pretty here in the next week or so, but check it out.
It's gonna be sweet.
And it goes to a good cause too, which is
Correct.
important to point out.
All around win-win.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I'd touch on how payment went. This I know we went for digital.
Yeah,
so how'd
we
that
tried to go paperless. Scorecards we're on UDisc now. Trying to take payment on Venmo is smooth. Because really, unless somebody hits an ace or a birdie, paying out a cash CTP each week, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
It's just smooth. I think it speeded up the process. And with 36 people signing up, that's a good thing, right? Nobody wants to be standing around for a 20-minute, it's
cold,
tournament director speech.
Yep. 100%.
Good stuff.
Cool. It's good. All right. I think you guys have any closing announcements? Any closing thoughts you guys want to put out there?
So
Nope. Just make sure you guys watch, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff.
Smash that like button.
Smash it.
we'll say thanks to Aaron for hanging out with
thanks,
us.
dude.
Yep.
We'll have him back on for sure.
he'll be around.
He'll be a recurring
Appreciate
guest.
you
showing us the
paving the
ropes.
way
Yeah.
for a lot of us.
Hopefully on the next episode, you guys will be able to look back on the doubles tournament happening this weekend. There's 18 guys
18 guys.
from the Woods Disc Golf League that are playing in that doubles
That's
tournament.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
hopefully we got some people that'll be able to bring a trophy and set it right up here. That'd be good
We
stuff.
can get a trophy wall behind us.
Yeah.
be cool.
Ooh, look at that.
I can see
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Pleasure. Cool. All right. Well, we're closing out. See you guys next episode.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.